Welcome to this Operoo training video all about Operoo Central for staff. In this video, we're going to look at what the view looks like to a staff member when they log into their Operoo Central and how they can access different functionalities and features of Operoo. In this video, I'm using my demo account, which is just demo data. If you have any questions throughout the video or after the video, you can contact our support team. Up on the top right-hand side under help, clicking FAQs, this will take you to our knowledge base. In our knowledge base, there's hundreds of articles on how to complete certain tasks within Operoo. Also on the bottom right-hand side, this is where you can contact our support team by clicking live chat. That will open up a chat and you can start a conversation with our support team. So for this demo, I am Juliet Smith, my test staff member. When staff first log into Operoo Central, the first thing they will see are requests. Now, requests are any forms that staff member has been sent to complete. So, for example, as Juliet Smith, I have to complete a manual handling course. If there are any of those eForms that staff need to respond to, all they simply need to do is click on respond, complete that form how it's been sent to them, and then submit that form. As soon as that form has been submitted, it will no longer show under requests as that action has been completed. The next one down, and this may not be visible to all staff members, is approvals for, and then the school themselves. So in this case, approvals for Walsh Primary School. If you have a staff member who is an approver as part of an approval workflow, when it comes to them to approve that form submission, that staff member will receive an email asking them to complete the form, and they will come into Operoo, and this is where they can see their approvals. By clicking on approve or reject, for example, this button here, that staff member can then view that eForm submission and say whether or not they approve or reject it, and then that approval can continue through the workflow. Next one down, we have responded. This will show all eForms that the staff member has responded to. And there is a view all eForm responses here. So by clicking on that, we'll show every single eForm response. The staff member can then find that form response that they're particularly looking for. Finally, within this screen, we then have groups and eForms. So this is any groups or eForms that a staff member has been assigned access to. Now, if you're not familiar with assigning access of a group or an eForm to a staff member as an administrator, there is a video that you can watch, a training video that goes through the differences of assigning and delegating access, and also shows you what that actually looks at and how to complete those steps. So please do have a look at our YouTube page and watch that training video. But down here, as Juliet, I can see these are the groups and the eForms that I've been assigned access to by my administrator. Now, with here, what you can do, so as here with my Australia trip, October 2022, as Juliet, I'm going on this trip, which is why I've been given access. Clicking my view 12 students will show me all of the students going on that trip, will show me their contact emergency details, as well as their medical and dietary needs. Also, event documents will show me any documentation that an administrator has uploaded that are relevant for me to have access to whilst on the trip. If you're not familiar with event docs, there is also a training video that shows you that functionality, and there is a knowledge base article as well. So please do check those out. Also with your event trips, I should say, you then have some little icons as well. So how many students have accepted and so forth. And then the top ones are any of those students who have specific medical conditions that are deemed life-threatening, mild or high risk. So as a summary, when a staff member logs into Operoo Central, right at the top, they'll see requests. So that's any eForms that they have been sent to respond to. If they are an approver and they have any outstanding approvals, they will then see the requests under this section here to complete those approvals. Down below, you've got responded. That's any eForms that staff member has responded to. And finally, groups and eForms that staff member has been assigned access to. On the right-hand side, there are a few options here going right to left. Sign out is obviously sign out. Help, we looked at here earlier, will take the staff member to our knowledge base. Under my account, there are a few things here that staff members can do. So staff members can change their password. Now, if you're using single sign-on, staff members won't have a password. So this is only relevant for those staff who don't access Operoo via a portal. All eForm responses, that will take you to every eForm response, or the staff member to every eForm response. Change my contact details. Now, this is dependent on the school administrator settings. Some administrators might lock this down, so staff cannot change their contact details. If that's the case, staff will need to come to the school directly, change their contact details in their MIS and have that link down in or sync down into Operoo. Two-step verification, staff, if they would like to, or if it's a school policy, set up a two-step verification. So when staff do that, it simply means that prior to accessing Operoo, the staff member would be sent a 6-digit code to their mobile phone. They then need to input that 6-digit code into Operoo before they can have access to Operoo. Verify my mobile number. This is all linked with two-step verification. Recent sign-ins, the staff member can see all the recent sign-ins. Manage linked accounts. What this is, if you've got a staff member who is also a parent at the school, they will have two separate logins, one as a parent and one as a staff member. They can link those. So if I just jump over to the left-hand side, if I click my Operoo home, you can see in my demo account, I have several linked accounts here, and it's quite easy for me to go to one of the other accounts. I don't have to log out of Operoo and log back in. I can just switch. So for example, I can switch to my parent account. It won't take long at all. Once that loads, I'm then in my parent account. So that's similar to a staff member. They could do the same thing. They could toggle between their parent account and their staff account if they set up linked accounts. Further on the right-hand side, back to my account, the last one is preferred language. So if a staff member would like to look at their Operoo account in any language other than English, I should say, the staff member can set their own language. Now, it can be done by this preferred language, or the other place it can be done is by this icon here. Still going right to left, news articles. If the staff member has the ability to send news articles, and this is a setting within the Operoo account that an administrator would set, the staff member can send news articles by clicking news. eForms, if the staff member has been given the ability to create eForms, under eForms and my eForms, that's when the staff member can start building their required eForm. And you also have delegated forms. So if you have delegated, or if the staff member has been delegated access to an eForm, they can access their delegated forms there. Delegated forms are the same as assigned forms in that if you're not sure of the functionality, please do check out that training video. And there is also a knowledge-based article on delegating eForm access to a staff member. Further to the left, we have Form Library. Form Library, I'm going to click on it now. This is where all self-service forms sit. So I've got a number of them here as examples. I've got an expense claim here. I've got a purchase order form, clinic student visit log, all of these forms that as a staff member, I can complete as and when is required. I've got a couple of trip planning forms, safeguarding forms, and risk assessment forms, and so forth. So any self-service forms that the staff member can access will be listed under Form Library. If I then scroll down, I also have access to all my submissions as well. So these are all the forms that I have submitted. I've got a couple here that have gone through the approval workflow as well. A number of them have been approved, but some of them have also been rejected. So as a staff member, I have full visibility of my forms, and I also have my saved submissions if I started a form, but I hadn't yet completed and submitted it. Scrolling back up to the top, staff members can also search. So if there is a form that they're looking for, they can search for that form in Search Form Library. Going back, recent will just show a staff member the recent pages they've been to. Home will take them exactly where we are now, and the change of language. So for example, clicking on that icon, I might change it into Japanese and clicking Save. And then once the page refreshes, it has shown me my Operoo Central where it can be translated in Japanese. That's what I wanted to show you today. So I wanted to show you Operoo Central for staff, the pages that they can access and how they would access any forms that they need to complete or have completed. If you have any questions at all, please contact our support team, and thank you very much for your time.